Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing. And if you've seen our recent video where I took out the Atom 3, you will know that I have got a lot to learn when it comes to racing the GT12. Now, I'm not too bad a driver and I can get a car around the track. I love racing my fun classes such as the TT01s, the Tamiya trucks, even the M chassis such as the M07, because I could get those cars out of the bag, chuck them on the track, have a play, put them in the box, pull them out again the following week, and there's not a lot I need to do to them. However, if you want to be super competitive and you want to race in a class like the GT12s, you need to do a little bit more work. You need to have a better understanding of your cars and you need to graph to get a good performance. So this is the first video in many where I take you on my journey as I develop my understanding of the GT12s, what you need to look out for, and what you need to work on. I have got plans to speak to some of the top drivers out there in the world of GT12 and LMP to give us tips on how you run these foam pan style cars. Anyway, if you're interested in that, like, subscribe, hit the old ding dong bell, and let's take a look at the GT12. Recently I had someone who's very experienced at GT12 rebuild this. A massive thank you to David for fixing the problems that I was having with the car. So what he has actually done, so at the back here, it doesn't come as standard, but what we have got is the fan, and the fan sits down here. So where I had the fan originally, I had it mounted over to the side here. It was messing up with the balance of the pod, so by moving it to there, additional weight has actually been added to balance that pod. So on these cars you have got the two side dampers here, which allow the pod to move side to side, and you have this central damper here, the central damper which compresses here. So therefore that's the damping at the back of the car. So these shocks have been redone. As I mentioned before in the previous video, I'm used to running the budget cars, the Tamiya TT01s, the M07s, the M03s, the throw it on the track, drive it round the track and just have a bit of a laugh sort of cars. The GT12, however, is definitely not one of those cars. The main reason being is tyre wear. So you put your tyres on the track, you do around, and what will happen is you'll get tyre wear immediately, which means the diameter of the tyres has changed. If the diameter of the tyres change, the ride height's changed. If the ride height's changed, then the whole feel of the car is going to change. So therefore you need to be a lot more on the ball when it comes to monitoring tyre wear and other factors such as that. So the other thing as well, when the rear tyres reduce in diameter, what they'll do is they'll actually change the rollout of the car. So obviously when the car's going round, you've got your pinion gear, which drives the spur gear, and depending on the gearing, depends on how many times the wheel rotates. If you make the wheel bigger for each rotation, the car will go further. So therefore, as the wheel shrinks, the gearing of the car actually changes. The final drive ratio, I think they call it, or rollout. So therefore, you need to keep on top of your tyre diameter, because as the tyres wear, you're going to need to change your pinion to keep the car at its optimum level. So there's lots more to think about before we've even got into setting up for particular tracks. I think a few people have said it on the channel, when you get these cars set up well, they are amazing to drive and they stick to the carpet like nothing else. However, when you don't get them right, they can be a real pain to drive. So these cars tend to fall off a cliff when things start to go wrong. So what I'm hoping to do in the coming weeks is learn from my experiences, try to document my experiences and document some of the things that I'm going to be working on. Now, I have I've been out shopping and I've bought myself a few things. Now the first thing I have bought is I have bought myself a air blower, and the reason I've got one of these is, as you can see by this car, there is all manner of fluff and dirt which gets picked up off the carpet. The thing is, with these cars, you need to keep them clean. Now, I don't think I've ever cleaned the MO7. I don't think that's ever been cleaned. It literally goes on the track, it runs around, and at the end of the day, it goes in a box, and the following week it will come straight back out again. Whereas a car like this, you need to spend a little bit of time keeping it in good condition and making sure everything is perfect. So for the big areas you can use a brush like this. However, for all the bits that you can't quite reach, an air blower is a great way of keeping your car super clean. So this is the one I've gone with. It's quite compact, it's quite small, it's just an electric air duster, and I'm going to use that to get rid of my carpet pubes. So let's have a quick look at this. So it comes with multiple different adapters for that. It says here, hold down for 3 seconds to turn it on. Excuse the noise. So that's the first thing that I purchased. So the second thing that I purchased is actually one of these. So look at that, it's brand new, straight out the box. An electronic digital caliper. So what we've got here then is our calipers, and the reason you want some digital calipers like these is, let me just hit the 0, bonk. As I was talking about earlier about the wheels, needing to measure them. So already I can see that this wheel over here is about 0.3 of a mil smaller than this one on this side. So these ones are at a 43.69 on this side, and it's about the same on that side. So we're on a 43.7 at the back, and at the front we're looking at around about 41.9. Okay, so when you are working on a car, you definitely want to get yourself a setup board like this one. This is a glass board. This is the Core RC board that you can get, and it does the job perfectly. So this is all about having a completely level surface so that you can set up your car to its optimum level. Now, I do know from visiting many a pits and doing many a pit walk, so you actually can get setup gauges that you can adjust to ensure that your board is perfectly level. So they've got little sort of spirit levels built in so that you can make sure that your board's set up perfectly before you even set up your car. So what else did I learn from my outing with the GT12? Well, the first thing that I need to point out is tyre additive. So for the GT12 running the foam tyres, you need to be using tyre additive, and I've been using the SXT 3.0. However, the guys on the day suggested getting hold of some of this. Now this is the Spider Blue, and this is for the club that I was running at. This is the go-to additive. So I've been given this little bottle to test out next time and see how I get on. Providing I get on well with it, I will be purchasing myself some Spider Blue. So the next thing that I need to invest in is a few more oils. So as we mentioned before, in the dampers there are different oils that you can have, and I've got a few here. So I've got 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 and 30,000, and they are the bottles that I've got. However, it might be that I need to get myself some more so that I've got the ability to adjust this and get it set up perfectly for my local track. I've got plans to chat with some top drivers and get their tips on how to set up GT12. So if you'd like to follow us on the journey, like, subscribe, hit the old ding dong bell, and let's get into the world of GT12.